It's like picking out clothes. Hey. I got so many flows, I don't know how to be the same. So many flows, I can kill your beat any type of way. So many flows, I don't see the need to imitate. So many flows, songs in my mind. I got so many flows, I don't know how to be the same. So many flows, I can kill your.
What's good? Candy cane gang, 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 gang. It's your girl King. What's good, y'all? What's popping? What's cracking? How you doing? How you been? I hope your day was great. This is another story time. I have been meaning to tell this story time for a long time. So I'm gonna go ahead and hop into this story time, okay? This story time took place in Brooklyn, New York, in Crown Heights, okay, / Flatbush. So this was during the MySpace time frame, okay? The MySpace time frame and when Facebook came into play, okay? So I'm gonna go ahead and do my disclaimer. None of the names used in this story time belong to any of these people. Their names are being changed to protect their privacy. Their names are being changed to protect the privacy of the trifling and not the innocent. So with that being said, I'm gonna go ahead and hop into this story time. So I have a friend that wanted this story time to come alive, and I'm just gonna go ahead and tell this story, okay? So I'm gonna make two parts to this story, okay? And it's gonna be with two different sets of people. So I had this girl, okay? I met this girl in college. We're just gonna call this girl Shaquan, okay? She was really, really cool, okay? She kind of reminded me of myself, quiet, don't really meet too many people, into our studies, into work, different things like that, okay? So I kind of took a liking to the girl. I'm like, all right, she's cool, you know. Our professor had partnered us together for a project. So she was just like,
hey, my name is Shaquan.
I'm like, hey, I'm Kane. She's like,
yeah, I'm gonna just give you a small introduction of myself. I'm from Brooklyn. I have one child. I'm a single parent. I'm a single mom. I'm just trying to get my degree in business so I can start my own business. Like I'm from Trinidad.
Like, she's just giving me a whole rundown about her, okay? So, and I did the same. So when we discovered we both was from Brooklyn and we both was kind of on the same path with a little bit of everything, we became friends. So every day I would notice Shaquan would be on the phone arguing with her son's father. So, she was just like,
Girl, like, I'm really getting tired of this wigger. Like, he's just a fucking deadbeat. He lives in his mother's house. He's not doing anything with his life. He's just a fucking bum. All they do is just, they aid him to be a bum. Like, they enablers. They let him be bum. They just let him be a bum.
So I was just like, damn, like, that's crazy. Like, he's not trying to help you with anything with your son. She was like,
nothing. He's not helping with nothing. Like, the only thing that he does, he'll volunteer to babysit, and that's because that's requiring him to stay in the house. But all he does is video games and buying clothes, and that's the parents. The parents buy all of that. They supply all of that. And he just in his parents' house, inside of like a little basement.
So I was just like, wow, that's crazy. So when you first met him, was it like that? So she was like,
no, like, he had a little job working at Burger King. Like, he was on the right path to getting his life together, but it was like, once me and him got together and then I got pregnant with my son, like, things just went bad.
So I was like, wow, like, I'm sorry, Shaquan, that you have to go through that, but if you ever need a babysitter, or help anything, I'm here, on the days where I'm not doing anything. She was like,
all right, bet, if that'll really work, I appreciate it, and I could pay you.
So I'm like, all right, cool. So me and Shaquan started to hang out, okay? We would hang out, we would go shopping, we would go out to, parties and stuff. She would have like little events at her house because she was living with her sister at the time. And she was living in Midwood. So, y'all, one day, it's always one day. Y'all already know, when it's always one day, it's some bullshit, right? So I guess a friend request on MySpace, gets a friend request, and I accept the request. Okay, I wasn't as mean on social media at the time, a long time ago, as I am now. And I don't mean mean. Like when I get friend requests on Facebook, because Facebook is like for friends and family, like people I actually know. So I get a lot of friend requests on Facebook, and I do not respond to the friend requests. I leave them there because, like I said, I leave that social media account for friends and family, just close people. So I don't be knowing where these people come from. I don't know. Now Instagram, that's different. That's an open platform. I use that for everybody. Okay. So MySpace days. Okay. Yeah. I need friends. Y'all know how MySpace days was. Like, if you had all these friends up there, you was a fucking superstar. Okay. So I'm like, yeah, accept. Anybody that send me a friend request, accept. So this guy sends me a friend request on MySpace. I accept the friend request. Minutes later, y'all know how this game goes. After you get the friend request, they jump into your DMs, into your inbox. He sends me a message, and the message said something along the lines of, "You are so pretty. Oh my God." Right? Heard it all before. So I'm like, "Thank you." I just respond, "Thank you." So he's like, "You got a man? How old are you? Are you in high school? You in college? Like, what do you do on your spare time?" Like, he just had a whole paragraph of an interview paragraph. That's what we're gonna call it. He sends an interview paragraph for me to answer all those questions. So I didn't answer the questions though, because I have problems with that. Like, why do you're a total stranger and you asking me all this 21 questions? You're like, you 50 Cent now? So I'm like, what can I like what's up? Like, what can I do for you? What you want? Like, he's like, "I'm trying to get to know you." So I'm like, "Okay, what do you want to know?" He's like, "I just sent it in the last message." I'm like, "Okay." So at the time, I want to say, I know I was young, okay? So I gave him my age, whatever age it was at that time, gave him the age. He was like, "Oh, okay, so I'm older than you." So I'm like, "Yeah." And he was around 22 or 23 years old. This is the age that he gave me. So he told me he was going to Mega Everest College. That's where he said he was going. So I'm like, "Okay, that's a really good school." Like, all right, cool. I took my SATs at Mega Everest College. So I'm like, that's a really dope school. So he's like, "Yeah, my parents got me in there because my mother works there." So this is just all he's writing in a message. So he starts to tell me about himself, okay? Because I wasn't answering all the questions. So I told him how old I was, and I told him that I was going to college and I was working. This is all I told him. So he's giving me a rundown about his life. He's telling me how he's working. He said he's working at Starbucks. He's working at some, like, at the bookstore in the school. Okay, like he was just giving me a whole rundown of his life. So then we get to the topic of, do you have kids? So I was like, "No, I don't have any kids. I'm just winging it. I'm doing school, hanging out with my friends, partying." This is what I respond to him and say. So he's like, "Well, that's pretty dope. I wish I would have waited and did the same thing." So I was like, "Oh, okay. So that means you have kids." He's like, "Yeah, I have a daughter." Y'all, keep that in your suitcase. Keep that in your file cabinet, in your briefcase, okay? Keep that in your briefcase. So I'm like, "Oh, okay. All right. So that's pretty cool. 2023. You have a daughter. That's cool." So he's like, "Yeah, but I'm doing the damn thing. Like, I'm co-parenting with my baby moms, like she's cool and this, that, and the third." So I was like, "Okay, well, as long as there's not gonna be no baby mama drama or nothing like that, yeah." I'm like, "Well, that's cool. You don't got baby mama drama. That's cool. That's good for you. You should be good." He's like, "Yeah. So I would like to get to know you more. Like, could we go out one day? Like, we can go to lunch, we can go to dinner." So I was just like, I don't know, because I don't know you. Like, You just sent me a friend request 45 minutes ago, and now we in a DM talking, and now you're asking for a date. Like, I don't know you like that, so sorry. So he's like, all right, that's cool, that's fine, um, we could be friends up here first, and then if we continue to be friends and communicate here, then we could go on a date. So I'm like, all right, that sounds a little more better for me. So y'all, we continue to, well, not we, because I would never hit him up. Okay, it was him hit me up every single day, maybe 4 to 5 times a day. Okay, he was a what you doing ass wigger, literally. Okay, it was it, and he this is before the WYD started. It was he would just send messages like, hey, what you doing, you busy, how's your day going so far, what did you do today, and different stuff like that. This is what the messages would be from Monday to next Monday. Okay, all around the board. So one day I'm just like, you know you just be on the phone a lot to be working. He's like, oh no, I'm one of those type of wiggers, I be sneaking off typing on my phone and stuff like that. I'm like, oh, okay. Don't get yourself fired to be on the phone talking to me. He's like, no, 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 like they know I have a daughter and stuff like that, so I need to pay attention. I need to be attentive to my phone. But I'm like, you're not being attentive to your phone. Like, you're on the phone talking to me from sun up to sundown, buddy. So I'm just lost. You say you have 2 jobs and you go to school. So, all right. So, boom, y'all. I'm hanging out with Shaquan. We downtown Brooklyn, okay, and we're shopping. She's got her son in, like a little push stroller, and we just down there vibing, okay? So we are inside of, we went to like this little restaurant. It was owned by Indians, okay, and they had some really good ass food too, okay. It was good. So we goes inside of there. We goes to sit down to eat, and she's on the phone. She gets a phone call. She's like,
oh, it's this bum ass wigger. Like, I bet you he's calling to ask me for some money.
So I'm like, call to ask you for money? Like, he's calling to ask you for money and doesn't do anything for your son. That's wild. That's wild crazy. So she's like,
yeah, like this is the bullshit that I be going through with him.
So she answers the phone. She's like,
hello?
And she's got it up to her ear. So I can hear him talking, but I can't hear his voice. So he's talking. Like, he just instantly starts talking when she says hello. She's like,
see, this the bullshit I'm talking about. Like, you calling to ask me for fucking money, and you know that, yes, your son need pull-ups, your son need wipes, your son need
this, and this. Like, she's just going off on old boy. So he responds to her, and she's like,
that's not my fucking problem. That's not my problem. If you would get up and get a fucking job, you wouldn't have to go through this. You wouldn't have to go through this. You know what? I'm getting ready to take it to the courts.
So everybody in the restaurant is looking because she's getting loud. So she hangs up the phone. She's like,
I'm so sorry. Like, he just really takes me out of my character. Like, this is just ridiculous.
So I'm like, nah, I don't have these problems, so I really don't understand what you're going through, but I do have friends and family that go through this, so I see it on a regular basis. So I'm just telling her, you're a good mother. You're a good mother. Do what you got to do for your son. Don't worry about him. Like, don't worry about him. This is what I'm telling her. So y'all, let's fast forward this story, okay? So here it is. It's the following week. Okay, it's the following week, maybe like a Wednesday or Thursday, okay? We in class, and I get a message on my phone. It's from this dude. Did I give this guy a name? Let's give this guy a name. I forgot. I'm just going into the story. I didn't even give him a name, okay? Let's call this guy Sammy, okay? Let's call him Sammy. So, I get a message from Sammy. Sammy sends a message, okay? Sammy is like, hey, beautiful, what's going on? How you doing today? So I'm like, I'm doing good. What's up with you? He's like, oh, I just had the day off today. Just was trying to see what you was doing, if you wanted to link up. Now, it had been like a month and a half. I had been talking to him on the message, okay, on the messenger. So it's like a month and a half. So I'm like, how's your day going? I would sometimes respond to his questions with a question. I'm like, how's your day going? He's like, oh, it's going good. Just trying to see what you got going on. Like, you want to vibe today? You want to hang out? So I was like, um, I guess. What do you have in mind? He's like, well, it's a nice day today. He's like, let's go to Kings Plaza Mall, right? Let's go to KP. So I'm like, um, I don't know. I really didn't like Kings Plaza Mall. Okay, I don't know. I didn't like Kings Plaza Mall. It was too much going on sometimes in there. So I'm like, I don't really feel like going there, to be honest with you. He's like, oh, all right, well, what you want to do then? So I'm like, I don't know. I'll let you know. He's like, all right, cool. So right after I'm done talking to him, Shaquan is on her phone. She starts texting. Like, her phone goes off. She starts texting. So she's like,
Here this motherfucker go talking about he can't watch my son for the weekend. Like, he can't watch my son for the weekend, and he has something to do today, so he don't know if he can watch him today either. And I have to work later tonight.
so I was like, okay, well, I could watch him. That's just what I said to her. She's like,
All right. But let me ask my sister first, because I know my sister doesn't have to work. If my sister can do it, then don't worry about it. I'm gonna need you for the weekend.
so I was like, all right, cool. So she texts her sister, and I guess her sister said, yeah, because she was
Like, all right, so I'm gonna need you for Saturday and Sunday if that's possible.
I'm like, yeah, I got you. So we get out of school, y'all. We ride in the bus home. She goes her way, I go my way. Okay, I go home because I'm living in Crown Heights. She lives in Midwood. So I get home, and this dude is back inside of my DMs. Okay, he's like, "Can you send me your number so I call you?" We've been talking for like a month and a half now, almost 2 months. I just want to know, like, if I could call you on the phone, like, hear your voice. So I'm like, for what? He's like, like, I was just having a conversation with one of my friends recently, and they was telling me how they was carrying on with somebody online, and the whole time it was a man. So I'm like, bro, I post pictures every other day. Okay, there's no way. So he's like, no, I know that. I'm just saying. I said, all right, fine. So I send him my phone number, y'all, and he calls instantly.
Like, hey, it's me, Sammy. How you doing?
And I'm like, hey, how you doing? He's like,
Yeah, so it's me. Like, I finally get to hear your voice. Like, wow, it's crazy. So
I'm like, yeah. So as I'm talking to Sammy, I start to notice Sammy has a slight accent. So I'm like, where are you from? Like, what country are you from? He's
like, oh, I'm from Trinidad.
So I was like, oh, okay. Okay. I was like, so, where do you live at? He's like,
Like, oh, I live in Flatbush.
I'm like, okay, so you're not too far from me because I live in Crown Heights. He's like,
Like, oh, wow, okay.
so I'm like, yeah. So he's like,
Like, yeah, um, yeah. So I'm in Flatbush. I'm just out here. I got my own spot. I'm trying to get a car again because I had a car. My car got messed up. My car's in the shop.
so I'm like, okay, cool. It sounded legit, okay, but it wasn't legit. It wasn't legit. So, so y'all, it's a Friday. I didn't link up with him this same day. Okay. I don't know. I just didn't feel like going out because I am such an introvert. Once I get in my house and I shower and I touch my bed, I'm not going back outside. So I hit him up like, listen, I know you said you had a day off, but if you are available Friday, we can hang out Friday. He's like,
All right, Friday sounds good.
I'm like, okay. He's like,
Friday, like what time?
so I'm like, I mean, you got to tell me because I'm off on Friday. I don't have school and I don't work. He's like,
Like, okay, well, Friday, like 1 o'clock.
so I'm like, okay, so you don't work on Friday. He's like,
No, I'm only working one job on Friday.
I'm like, all right, fine. So y'all, here it is, Friday, okay? Sammy's on my phone at 7 in the morning So I just figure, I'm like, okay, I know he said he has two jobs, so maybe it's this, he's at this early job. I'm just thinking, the time frame of 7 a.m. Maybe he's at work. He's at this job. So who knows? So I'm just like, I rolls over, look at my phone. Good morning, beautiful. So I'm like, good morning. He's like, did I wake you? And I'm like, yeah. He's like, oh, I'm a bit of an early bird. I'm always up early. So I'm like, are you at work? He's like, no. So I'm like, okay. Well, I'm still asleep. I'm still in bed right now. So I can hit you back when I get out of bed, if that's possible. He's like, yeah, that's not a problem. Just wanted to send my good morning text to you. I'm like, all right, fine. So y'all, when I got up, I sent him a text. And I'm like, hey, what's going on? He's like, hey, Sleeping Beauty. So I'm like, hey, I'm woke now. He's like, yeah, I was just, trying to make sure, just trying to confirm, just trying to make sure we was still on for today. We still going on this date. So I'm like, well, it's not a date. We just going to link up. He's like, yeah, well, whatever it is, you know, we vibing. I'm excited about it. So I'm like, all right, so what exactly do you want to do? Where you want to go? Okay. He's like, well, I was thinking you just come to my place, I can cook some lunch, some brunch up or whatever, and we could just talk, get to know each other some more. So I'm like, I thought you said you wanted to go out, like you wanted to go out somewhere. So he's like, no, because it started. If you, I don't know if you looked outside, but it's raining. It was raining, y'all. I looked at the window. It was raining. I'm just like, okay, all right. Where do you stay at? He's like, all right, so we on for 1 o'clock. I'm like, yeah, where do you stay? He's like, in Flatbush. I'm like, okay, where? Like, what's the street? So he tells me the street that he's staying off of, and it's really not too far from me. So I'm like, all right, cool. So y'all, here it is. It's 1 o'clock. Okay, he wanted to link up at 1, but I'm just like, I left late. Okay, so I sent him a text and was like, I'm on my way. I'm sorry I'm late. He's like, it's not a problem. Do you think you'll be here like before 3 o'clock? So I'm like, yeah, I'm on my way. I'm en route. He's like, all right, cool. So I'm in a cab. I got in a cab. 910. I don't even know if 910 or 510 still exists in New York, okay? But that's the cab that I call. This is they are before Uber and Lyft, all right? So I'm in a 910 cab, taking this cab to this Wigger's house. The cab pulls up and I get out. It's like a block of brownstones, okay? They look like brownstones. So I get out and I'm just standing there. So I send a text like I'm outside. So he sends a text and was like, all right, I'm coming. Give me a minute. So I'm like, listen, it's raining outside, okay? So he's like, no, I'm coming. So I see somebody peek their head up from the stairs, okay? Because it was like down. You can go down the stairs. Okay, so I start walking and it's him. So he's like,
hey, what's up? What's up?
so I goes down the stairs, follows behind him, and we go into the door. He's like,
Yeah, you can put your umbrella right there, and you're not the little umbrella holder. And we're gonna go up to my room.
so I'm like, wait, go up to your room. He's like,
Yeah.
so I'm like, why can't we just go to the living room? Like, what are we going straight to your room for? He's like, oh,
Oh, I didn't tell you. I'm staying with someone, so I don't want them in my business.
I'm like, I thought you said you had your own place. He's like,
Again, this is my place. I have a roommate, and I don't want my roommate in my business. Like, whenever I have guests in the living room, my roommate tends to come out, wants to keep coming out, going to the kitchen, or just coming into the living room. Just it's too much.
so I'm like, okay, sounds like a load of bullshit to me, but all right. So we go up to his room, y'all. Now, this was the thing. His room was not upstairs. His room was on the same level we were, but it was towards the back. So he goes to his room, okay? And his room was small, like very, very small. He had a twin size bed. He had a small, maybe like a 19-inch flat screen TV sitting on a little 2-drawer nightstand. And on the other corner, there was like a million boxes of Prada shoes and Jordans. Okay. Um, and he had this really soft curly hair. Like his whole head was just, he had some beautiful hair. Okay. Beautiful hair. And he was tall and skinny. So in the closet was bombarded with clothes. The clothes was hanging out of the closet, y'all. It was bombarded with clothes. So I was just like, I'm looking around, like my eyes is going, like just looking around. So he's like,
oh, let me go get you a chair. Let me get you a chair.
In my head, I'm just like, where the fuck is a chair gonna fit in this room? Because there's no space. So he comes back with a stool, a little small stool, okay, like a wooden baby stool. He's like, you small, I know you can sit on this. You can fit on this. So he sits the stool down. He sits on his bed. He's like,
yeah, this is my room. This is me. I'm waiting for my roommates to move out. They're supposed to be moving out, and when they move out, I'm gonna have that room, the master bedroom, and this room. I'm gonna rent this room out.
So I'm like, this is not a room. Now, y'all, I don't even remember seeing a window in this room. I'll be honest with you. I don't remember seeing a window. He had like little pictures and posters on the wall and stuff. I don't remember seeing a window. So I was just like, this is a room. Like this is a bedroom. He's like,
yeah, I know it's small. I know it's tight in here. I'm well aware of that. That's what I said. When my roommates move out, that's the room to take.
So I was just like, how did your roommates manage to get that room? He's
like, well, when we first moved in, like, we was renting, they kind of called dibs on the room before me because I was late coming to the showing.
He had a whole story, y'all, okay? So my phone goes off. I get a text on my phone. It's Shaquan. So she's like, hey, are you busy? Can I call you? So I'm like, yeah, you can call me. Not really doing too much. So I said, hold on a second. I need to take this call. He's like, all
right, you need to step out.
I said, no, it's all right. So Shaquan calls my phone. Okay. She's like, yeah,
Girl, like I am so stressed out. My son is sick. Like it's just a
like she's just going in, y'all. She's just going in the phone.
And this motherfucker, he's not even answering his phone. Like I don't understand. Like I'm just so tired of this wig up. I'm tired of him. I'm so freaking sick and tired of him.
I'm like, you might just need to go to the courts like you said you was gonna do.
It's like, yeah, first thing Monday morning, that's what I'm doing. I'm going to the fucking courthouse because I'm sick of this motherfucker. Like, he doesn't do nothing. From the time that I pushed my son out, he doesn't do shit. Like, I'm just so mad at myself right now. I'm mad at myself.
So I was like, just calm down. Just calm down. Like, don't lose it. Like, you got this. You still need me to watch him for tomorrow. I know you say he's getting sick or whatever. She's like, I don't
know, because now I have to I gotta leave work early. That's what I'm doing now. I'm leaving work early because I had to go to the hospital to take my son to the hospital. I'm calling this motherfucker phone to tell him what's going on. He's not even answering the phone. Like, his shit's going straight to voicemail.
So I'm like, wow. So I'm like, what's his number? Like, I can call him. Maybe, give me his number. So she's
like, I'm gonna text it to you.
So y'all, she texts the number to me, okay? I calls the number and the phone's going to voicemail. Just like she said. It wasn't ringing. So he's just sitting there. He's looking at his phone. So he looks up at me. He's like,
is everything all right?
So I'm like, yeah, one of my close friends, she's going through a lot right now. So I probably can't stay long because, I like to be there for my friends. So he was like,
oh, damn. I'm sorry, I'm sorry that's going on, So that cuts our time.
So I was like, yeah. He's
like, yeah. So, like, what's going on with her?
So I'm like, she's just, deadbeat baby daddy issues. He's
like, wow. I'm glad I'm there for my daughter.
I was like, yeah. So I was like, so let me see how your daughter looks. You got pictures of your daughter? He's like,
oh yeah, they're in my storage. I gotta get them out of my storage. So when I go to storage, you'll see the pictures.
So I'm like, What are you getting out of storage? What else can go inside this room, buddy? Okay, this this was worse than my apartment, y'all. Cause remember I told you I had to go outside and change my mind. Okay, I had to go outside and have an argument with somebody, buddy. Like, you have to go outside to think, to start your thought. You have your thought process. You have to get up and go outside. Okay, this man was living in a closet, a walk-in closet. He was living in a walk-in closet. That's how it looked. So y'all, all of a sudden, Sammy's phone rings. Okay, and it just kept ringing and ringing and ringing and ringing. So I'm like, you wanna answer your phone? Like, I just took my call in front of you. He's like,
It's nobody important.
so I'm like, if you have other women calling, I'm okay with it. You can answer the phone. He's
like, nah, it's not important. Trust me, it's not important.
I'm like, all right. So I looks at my phone and act like, I have a text or whatever. And I'm just like, yeah, I'm going to be heading out soon because my friend needs me to come with her. She's going to the hospital to take her son. So he's like,
okay. Yeah, I really feel bad. I really feel bad for your friend. My baby mom's, she's like a superwoman. She does a lot for our daughter, especially in the times when I can't do things.
So I was like, okay, how old is your daughter?
Like, oh, she's around 5.
I'm like, okay, that's cool. So you and your baby mom get along?
Sometimes, not all the time.
I'm like, okay. So I ends up leaving, okay? Because like I told you, I made up this story about helping Shaquan. So now it's Saturday, okay? We're fast forwarding to the weekend. It's Saturday. I calls Shaquan, okay? And to ask Shaquan if she still needed me to watch her son, if she still needed my assistance and how her son was doing. So Shaquan is just like,
yeah, they said that he had like a really bad cold, he had a fever, he had an ear infection, like, so I just had to call out of work, like, and I can't afford this because I'm doing this by myself.
So I was like, yeah, I understand. And she's like,
and then I don't want to spring into your house and then you get sick and all of that, so I'm just here, man. I'm just here at the house.
So I was like, all right, well, like I said, if you need anything, just let me know. So she was like,
all right, she's like, my baby dad, like, he never answered the phone, right?
I was like, no, like, it just kept going straight to voicemail. Okay. So she
was like, all right, well, I really appreciate it. I appreciate your help, Kane. Like, you're the best. You're the best. You're the greatest friend I've ever had.
So I'm like, it's no problem. Like, for real, it's no problem. So as soon as I hang up from her, y'all, here's my phone. So I'm like, hello. He's
like, hey, what's up?
I'm like, what's going on, Sammy? How was your day going?
Oh, my day's going good. I just got off work, just trying to see if you want to hang out.
So I was like, hang out where? He's like,
maybe go to the movies or we just grab some pizza. It's a nice day. It's not raining today. And I know you had to leave because you need to help your friend.
So I was like, yeah. He's like,
we can sit outside, there's benches and stuff. It's like a park nearby my house.
So I was like, all right. So we links up. When I got to him, when I took another cab up there, okay, up to him, he's standing outside. He's got a hoodie on. He's got a polo hoodie on. He's got red Pradas. The polo hoodie was red, and he's got some blue jeans on, okay? And his hair was still a complete mess. So he's holding the pizza box. He's got a pizza box. So he's like,
we can go sit on a bench over there. Like, it's like in between the buildings if you want. Like, it's like in the cut.
So I'm like, all right. So he goes over to these benches that he wanted to sit and had like little tables where you could play chess. You know what I'm talking about. So we go and we sit at this little section here. So he's like,
yeah, I forgot to get something to drink.
I'm like, it's all good. So he's like,
yeah, so what happened with your friend? Like, is she good? Is everything good with her son?
I'm like, yeah. He's he's just under the weather. She's just stressed out, but she's good. She's doing good. She'll be all right. He's
Like, yeah, like, once again, I'm sorry that happened.
like, so I'm like, yeah. So y'all, while we sitting there eating the pizza and talking, Sammy's phone rings again and just kept ringing. So I'm like, you know what, Sammy? You can either answer the phone or I'm gonna get up and walk away. I'm gonna get up and leave. This is what I said to him. So he's
Like, no, I don't want you to do that.
I'm like, all right, because you know, it's just it's awkward. It's getting really awkward. Your phone is just ringing out your pocket. You hear it ringing and you're not doing anything. You can take it out and you can press, decline, reject the call, whatever. Like you just letting it ring. So he takes it out of his pocket and he's
Hello?
like he turns his head. He's like,
Hello?
I just hear a female, and the female is going Willy Bobo on the other end of the phone, just yelling and screaming, just going off on him. So he gets up from the table, y'all. He gets up and he's walking really fast. So I'm just sitting there eating my pizza, biting my pizza up, just looking like what the fuck is going on here? Like, so I'm listening, and he's like,
What do you want me to do? Like, I don't understand. You just keep calling my phone, yelling and screaming like you don't know how to talk like a human being. Like, what do you want me to do? What do you want me to do? Like, do I look like a fucking doctor to you? I'm not a fucking doctor. What do you want me to do? Like, you want me to sit there? You want me to sit and babysit a sick child? Like, get the fuck out of here. And then I can't go to my job interviews. I can't do this. I can't do that.
this is what I'm hearing. So Sammy gets off the phone and he comes walking back. He's walking back over and trying to put his hood on top of his afro. So he sits down. He's
Like, I'm so sorry. I'm sorry about that.
So I'm like, is everything all right? He's
Like, yeah, yeah, this just a bunch of bullshit, but everything will be okay.
So I'm like, okay. I said, so you don't have pictures of your child inside of your phone? He's like,
No.
I'm like, okay. So y'all, I'm gonna fast forward one last time. Here it is, okay, this particular day. This is around spring break time, okay? So we're out of school. Me and Shaquan, we're out of school. We're on spring break. I'm sitting at the house with Shaquan's sister, her brother, and her son. We're just at the house vibing, okay? So Shaquan is like, yeah, I took my son finally.
See his bum ass father, like, and this wigger, he's just doing whatever the fuck he wanna do. He's got bitches, he's doing this, he's doing that. I went through his phone. And he's sitting there having a conversation with some bitch named Candy.
So I'm like, Candy? What is it, a stripper? She's like,
I don't know, but I'm about to call her phone right now. I'm about to send her a text. I'm about to call her phone right now because he think he fucking slick. Like, this the reason why you can't do nothing for your fucking son because you just running around with other bitches. Like, I don't understand. And the bitch probably taking care of him. That's probably what's going on. That's probably what the fuck it is.
so I'm like, yeah, call this hoe up because I want to hear what's going on, y'all. Shaquan calls the number and the phone rings. The phone rings and my phone starts ringing. My phone starts ringing in my bag. So I sit up and I look at her. She's looking at me. Shaquan's sister's looking. I'm like, So she presses, hangs it up. She calls it again. My phone is ringing. So I'm like, wait a minute. She's like,
You're Candy?
so I'm like, what's your baby father's name? She's like,
Sammy.
I said, Sammy. She's like, yeah. So I goes to my phone. I goes to MySpace. Quick, I'm moving quick. I'm like, him? This is him? She's like,
That's that kid. That's him. That's my baby father. That's that broke motherfucker.
I'm like, okay. Now I know how this sounds and looks, but I did not know. Okay, like me and Shaquan became close. I always heard about her baby father, but I never saw who her baby father was. Never heard his voice. I would just hear him on the phone. I can hear a man talking. So she's like,
I don't fucking believe this. Y'all become friends on MySpace.
I'm like, I don't know. Just one day he sent me a friend request and just started sending me messages. So Shaquan's sister is like,
You think he went through your friends list and he's adding your friends and trying to talk to them?
so Shaquan was like,
That's gotta be what the fuck he's doing.
so I'm just like, listen, I had no idea. She's like,
No, Kane, I know this. I know what type of wig I had.
I'm like, all right. So the sister, let's call Shaquan's sister, let's call her Sarah, okay? Sarah's just like,
You know what? Y'all need to line him up. Y'all need to line him the fuck up. Because he think he's slick.
I said, well, yeah. He told me he had a daughter. He told me he worked at Starbucks. He told me he worked at a bookstore in his school because he went to Mega Evers. He told me all this stuff.
She's like, that's all a bunch of lies. He's a fucking liar. He's a fucking liar. He lies better than a rug. He's a liar.
So I'm like, all right. So I look at Sarah. I'm like, so what do you have in mind? Sarah was like,
so you just need to go over there. And Shaquan, you need to go over there too.
So Shaquan was like, what?
We go together? No, somebody go be there first and somebody else shows up.
So Shaquan was like,
that's a good idea, Kane. You're gonna hit him up, tell him you wanna come over there, and I'm gonna just show up.
I was like, oh, okay. I'm like, all right. So like, what? Did we text him? You trying to do this right now?
She was like, we're gonna do this tomorrow. We're gonna do this tomorrow because I'm off tomorrow. And that's it. That's it. We doing it.
Like, all right, cool. So y'all, the next day, Shaquan shows up to my house with her sister, okay? So Shaquan is like,
yeah, send him a message because he's a bum. He's not doing anything. He be woke from 6 in the morning until 6 the next morning. Playing a fucking game, eating up his parents' food.
So I'm like, wait, so he lived with his parents? She was like, yes. I said, I know the stories sound bogus. Because he told me that he had roommates and he let his roommates take the master bedroom and he was living in the closet. She's like,
yeah. Oh my God. Send him a message.
So y'all, I goes to my phone and Sammy had already been texting me from 7 a.m. once again. So I finally responds. I'm like, hey, good afternoon. What's up? He's like, wow, where you been at? You been asleep all this time? I'm like, yeah, it's spring break. Like, I'm resting. So I'm like, yeah, I was trying to link up today. What you doing? He's like, nothing at all. Like, he just wrote nothing in caps. So I'm like, okay, well, let's link up. He's like, for real? I'm like, yeah. He's like, well, how about I come to your house? Because I never came to your house before. So I'm like, oh no. I don't have guests in my house. So he's like, all right, so you want to come back over here? I'm like, yeah, let's, I kind of enjoyed sitting at the park eating pizza, He's like, okay, I can get some crown fried. You like crown fried chicken? I'm like, yeah. And make sure you get a sweet potato pie because that's my favorite. He's like, all right, cool. So I get myself dolled up and we call cabs, okay? So I get in the cab and they get in their own cab. So Shaquan is like,
yeah, I'm going to take the cab to like somewhere in the area and you just take the cab straight to his house. And then I'm going to just show up because I know what little fucking area park he's talking about.
So I'm like, all right, cool. So I do just that, y'all. I get the 910 cab. I take the cab to Sammy's house. And Sammy's standing outside. He's got the bag of food, okay? So when I get out, he gives me like, a side church hug. And he's like,
yeah, I got the food. I got drinks this time.
so I'm like, all right, cool. So, I kind of felt bad, because what the fuck am I talking about? So we go and we sit in this park on the side, okay? So we taking the food out. And I am nervous, okay? I'm nervous because Shaquan was just like me, okay? A no-limit soldier. We like to pull up on motherfuckers and show them it's not a game. So I was nervous. I'm like, oh, God. So I'm sitting there and, I'm biting into the chicken. He's like,
Are you okay?
I said, yeah, I'm good. He's like,
Your energy just seems a little off today. Like, you seem worried. Like, you look worried.
I said, no, I'm good. I'm fine. He's like, oh, all right. So biting into the chicken, bite the biscuit, and I'm just looking over towards, the interest of this little thing. And finally, I see Shaquan and Sarah walking. Now, Sammy's back is to the opening of the little park thing, okay? He's facing me. So I'm trying not to put my eyes on over there because then he'll turn around and look. I get what I'm saying. So we just eating. Sammy's like,
yeah, my roommates, they going out of town. They're gonna be out of town for a minute, so I'll probably just do the room swap then, because they're gonna be gone for a couple of months.
So as soon as Sammy says that, Shaquan walks up and says,
Who's gonna be out of town for a couple of months?
Sammy jumped up out of this off this bench, y'all. He jumped up, threw the chicken down, okay, and goes in knock if you buck mode.
What are you doing? What are you doing? What are you doing? Like, what are you doing? What are you doing?
She's like, what the
What are you doing? What the fuck are you doing? This what we doing? This what we doing?
Yo, are you serious right now? I don't even know y'all. Do I know you? Do I know you?
Are you gonna play that game with me? You gonna play that game with me? You know what? Child support. I'm going straight to child support when I leave from here. That's it. That's it.
So Sarah's like,
You a bum. You a bum. Like, you was grimy. You grimy. You sitting here trying to with her friends. You trying to her friends.
Wait. What's going on here? What's going on here?
so I'm like, Shaquan is my friend, okay? Did you not know that or you knew that? He's like,
I don't even know her. I don't know her.
so y'all, Shaquan goes on her phone. She starts pulling out pictures and videos and everything of Sammy with their son. So I'm like, dang, you lie and say you had a daughter, but you really have a son. Like, what the who does that? So he's like, wait
a minute, hold on. Like, wait a minute. So you tell me all this time you knew my baby mother and you still was talking to me? Like, I don't understand. I don't understand.
So I'm just like, wait a minute. I discovered that this was your baby mother a day ago. Okay?
Nah. See, you knew that she was my baby mother and you was trying to set me up. You trying to set me up.
This man was literally trying to 360 the whole thing, y'all. So Sarah was like,
Don't even try, motherfucker. Don't even try. You sit here trying to lie. You sit here trying to lie. Now you trying to turn the whole thing around and get your ass out of hot water. It ain't working. It ain't working. We know you a bum. We know you ain't. It's over. It's over. You're caught. You're caught. And then you walking around talking about you have a daughter. You not even claiming your son.
so he's like,
You know what? I've been asking for a DNA test. You never gave me a DNA test.
Shaquan was like,
My son look just like you. My son look just like you.
he did. So he's like, yo,
I don't believe this. This is embarrassing. This is embarrassing. Y'all need to get away from my house. Get away from my house.
So Sarah was like,
Your house. You live with your parents. You live with your parents.
so I'm like, inside of a closet at that. Your room looks like a closet, bro. Like, they gave you a closet. He's like,
That's my crib. That's my crib. What you talking about? I have roommates.
So Shaquan was like,
I guarantee you, if I go around there right now and I tell your mother what the fuck you doing, they're gonna throw your ass out on your head. How about that? How about that?
y'all, this man Sammy is like,
Now, why you want to do that? Why you want to involve other motherfuckers in it? Why you want to do that? Why you want to do that?
so I'm like, so you do live with your parents?
Well, my parents own the building. Yeah, that's it. But they don't stay there.
I'm like, wow. Shaquan
a lying sack of shit. That's what you are. You're a lying sack of shit. And I'm going straight to child support. I'm going straight to child support.
So Shaquan walks out. She storms off. Sarah was like,
you a bum ass wigger. I can't stand you.
So Sammy was,
I can't stand you either. You need to mind your business. You need to mind your business with your nappy wig. Mind your business.
All right, I got your nappy wig. I got your nappy wig.
So she takes the Pepsi soda, y'all, and throws it all over Sammy, okay? He had on a white polo hoodie. She throws it all over Sammy. This man loses it.
No, you didn't. No, you didn't. No, you didn't.
So Sarah was like,
your mama bought it anyway. You need to get a job. You need to get a job. You're a fucking bum.
so she walks off. So he calls Shaquan's phone, and he's like,
your sister just fucked my sweater up. Y'all gotta pay for it. Y'all gotta pay for it.
So Shaquan is he has the phone on speaker. Shaquan is like, tell your mother to buy you another one, bitch, and hangs up the phone. So I'm still standing there. So Sammy is like,
yo, I can't believe this. Like, you set me up. You set me up.
So I'm like, listen, I did not set you up. Okay, I did what needed to be done. So y'all, I'm taking my chicken, putting it back into the box, take my pie, put it in the bag, take my soda, and I walk away. And I leave Sammy standing there. So when I get to the corner, Shaquan and Sarah still standing there. So I gave Shaquan a hug because she was crying. And we got into a cab and went back to my house. So Shaquan was like,
I can't believe this motherfucker. Like, yo, he is the grimiest of grimy. Like, so you telling me you didn't know this was my friend. You didn't know this was my friend.
So I'm just like, listen, like, I even feel bad, because I did not know that this was your baby father. I didn't know. Like I said, me and Shaquan met at the college, City Tech. That was the school we was going to. And I mean, what does it mean to say, let me see how your baby father look? You know what I'm saying? Like, I didn't know what the dude looked like. I didn't know who the dude was. So y'all, the whole entire day, Sammy is texting my phone. You're grimy. I can't believe you. You can't be trusted. You just like my baby mother. All y'all the same. All women is the same. Bitches ain't like, he's just going in the text, okay? So I sends him a text and I'm just like, listen, leave me the fuck alone, okay? Leave me alone. You got caught. Leave me alone. This man puts a whole message on AOL Messenger, AIM. He puts his away message. Bitches ain't they grimy, they sneaky, they conniving, they this, they that. So I put on my away message, wiggers be having kids, changes the gender of them, and don't take care of them. That's what I put. He sends a message and was like, oh, you want to play games? You want to play games with me? I'm like, listen, buddy, you mad at the wrong person. You need to be mad at yourself. You need to be mad at yourself. So y'all, Shaquan eventually did go to child support and put Sammy on child support, okay? And Sammy's parents ended up throwing Sammy out of the house because Sammy got caught with another female in the house. So Sammy tried to make friends, like make amends with Shaquan so he can move into the house with her. He tried to make this deal that he would be an in-house babysitter and babysit their son.
Oh, you don't have to worry. He's going to be taken care of. You can work, go to school, all that. I'm going to be here with him.
Fucking die. And Sarah was like, no, because Sarah and Shaquan, they were like doing a roommate situation. And Sarah was like,
no, that wig is not coming in here, okay? He's a bum ass wig. He's not coming in here unless he got a fucking job. Out of here. I can't stand him anyway.
So that was a done deal. Shaquan went to child support, and Shaquan ended up meeting a new guy. So Sammy did not like that, okay? Sammy was back on AOL Messenger talking mad trash about Shaquan and the new dude. You got wiggers around my son. You this and you that. Now it's a son because it was a girl at first. So y'all, that was an ongoing thing with Shaquan and Sammy, okay? And I cut complete ties with Sammy. I blocked him, okay? I blocked him on AOL Messenger. I blocked him on my, my phone line, and he was deleted and blocked off MySpace. Because what? So come to find out, Sammy was definitely going through Shaquan's top friends, going through her friends list and adding her friends and trying to talk to them. So he knew exactly what he was doing. Okay. Unfortunately, I just fell victim I fell dumb to it. I let her know. I had no idea. She never had pictures. These pictures that she had, like of Sammy with their son, she never had any of his pictures on any of her social media. So I didn't know. So, yeah. So there you go, Shaquan. Because Shaquan wanted me to tell this story, and the story is told, okay? So that is my story time, y'all. If you like this story time, give this video a thumbs up and leave some comments. Have you ever had a situation like this happen to you? Or do you know somebody that this happened to? Let's talk about it in the comments like we do, okay? And don't worry, y'all. I'm still getting to these comments. I'm still responding. Y'all know Big Kane don't leave nobody hanging high and dry. I love all of y'all. And if you didn't like this story time, give this video a thumbs up and have a nice motherfucking day. Okay? So, I just want to say I love y'all. Happy holidays, okay? I have some merch, some KKG merch that's on the way. I got the first batch. The first batch is here. I got to make sure everything is up to par and right because Big Kane don't put out no bullshit, okay? So, once I unpackage everything and I look at it and get it together, it will be posted for sale. And, yeah, we're going to have a good time. So I'm going to see y'all in the next story time. It's going to be a part 2 to this. But the part 2 is not about these group of people. This is about another set of people, okay? So, yeah. Wherever you at in this crazy-ass world, if you out buying a Christmas tree, if you out buying biscuits, if you out buying pizza, if you at the Walmart, you on the self-checkout line, you press for the attendant to come to your register because you need assistance. Cashier comes walking over.
Hi, can I help you?
You're going to say to her or him, don't forget. They're going to say,
Don't forget what?
don't forget to tell a friend, to tell another friend, to tell another friend, to tell another motherfucking friend that the cane is on the fucking tube. Peace. I love y'all.
I got so many flows, man. It's like picking out clothes. Hey, I got so many flows. I don't know how to be the same. So many flows. I can kill your beat any type of way. So many flows. I don't see it.